Hello, good evening. Great. Okay, so today we're looking at idiomatic expressions. Today's your first day. Great. Good to have you here. Okay. All right, guys. So today we're looking at the speaking section, right? All right. And I'm sure all of you have heard that you need to use idiomatic expressions. Can anyone tell me what is an idiomatic expression? Hi, good evening. Yes. Hi, guys. All right. Can anyone tell me what you think is an idiomatic expression? Have you heard this before? Anyone has heard this before? Idioms, yes. What's an idiomatic expression? Yes. Okay. So whenever you look up, whenever you see using them in conversation, okay, expressing, yes. All right. Okay, so let's first see what is an idiomatic expression, what are idioms, and should we use them? Why should we use them? Where should we use them? Yes, so today we're going to talk all about idiomatic expressions. Yes, okay, let me start sharing my screen. Just give me a second. Hi. Great. Okay, so I hope all of you can see the presentation. Okay. Those of you who are new, welcome. Nice to see you. Nice to have you here. All right. Okay. So idiomatic expressions, first of all, idioms are not proverbs. Okay. So I know that a lot of people misunderstand this and they think that idioms refer to proverbs, but they do not. Yes, proverbs are not the same as idioms. So what are proverbs? Proverbs are things like, proverbs you're used to, like the pot calling the kettle black. And okay, I am seeing, just give me one moment. All right. Okay, guys. Okay, so first things first, let me introduce myself. Looks like a lot of new people here, so I'll tell you a little bit about myself, then we will talk more about idioms. And those of you who are here for the first time, please like and subscribe our channel. You have a nice surprise coming for you. You can see the link in the chat box. So I'm Swathi Ravi. I am a British Council certified IELTS trainer and a TESOL Canada board certified language trainer. I have over 8 years of experience. I have more than 5,000 hours of teaching experience, and I've helped more than 3,000 students with their IELTS tests. Okay, so today we're going to talk about idiomatic expressions, which are specific to the speaking task. I know that a lot of you have trouble with the speaking section. So what I will do is I will tell you where we use these idiomatic expressions and how they can actually improve your speaking score. Now, there are thousands of expressions that you can use, but we need to be careful with them because if we use the expressions incorrectly or we use them in the wrong place, then it will reduce your score rather than improve your score. Yes, which is why we need to be very careful with it. Yes. All right, guys. So let's get started with idiomatic expressions. Before that, let's do a quick overview of the speaking section and how it is scored. And I'll tell you where idiomatic expressions can improve your score. Okay. So the evaluation criteria is this: fluency and coherence, which is your fluency and the logical flow of your ideas, which contributes to 25%. Lexical resource is your vocabulary and use of appropriate words. That is another 25%. Grammatical range and accuracy. Grammatical range is the variety of sentence structures that you can present. So simple, complex, compound sentences. You have to use a mix of sentence structures. Accuracy is the number of grammatical errors. So that also contributes 25%. Pronunciation, obviously, I'm sure all of you know, it is how clearly and properly you pronounce the stresses in the word. Yes. All right. So coherence, some of you are asking me what coherence means. Coherence is nothing but the logical flow of your ideas. So you should not abruptly jump from one thing to another. Your ideas should flow logically. Yes. So your answer should make sense, right? If your question is about an unexpected event, and if you talk about a surprise, it is not logically connected unless you create a connection. Yes. We'll talk about that a bit more. So today we're talking about idiomatic expressions particularly. So let's see how these idiomatic expressions can influence our score. Is it really important? What do you guys think? Is it important to use idiomatic expressions? Do we need to? Should we waste our time learning it? Yes. Okay. Some of you are saying yes. All right. Okay. So all of you are saying yes. So this means that all of you are believing that it is important, it is necessary. Okay. So yes, we say that it is important because, yes, I'm seeing the question, why is it important? If we are teaching, it must be important. Yes, you're right. We only teach you things that are important, right? So yes, it is important. It is important because it contributes to your score in 3 different ways. Yes, you can communicate without idioms. Yes, you can get a good score without idioms as well. But if you do use idiomatic expressions, it can improve your score in 3 categories, right? So those 3 categories are: 1, it improves your grammatical range, because when you use an idiomatic expression, you automatically have to use a sentence that it fits in with correctly. So if you use an idiomatic expression in the correct grammatical structure, it also contributes to your grammatical range. Yes? Okay. So next is it improves your lexical resource. And why does it improve the vocabulary score? Because we will not be using simple words. Instead of simple words, we will start using some idiomatic expressions. Yes? You will also remove the need to repeat the words you've already used. Yes. Next, it is also helping in improving your fluency. Now, how can idiomatic expressions improve fluency? What do you think? How can these expressions improve your fluency? What does this have to do with that? How is it related? Can anyone guess? What do you think? How is it related? Okay, not seeing any answers. Yeah, all right. So can't say, fine. So when you know certain idiomatic expressions, for example, if I use an expression for beginning my sentence, then it can certainly improve my fluency in part 1 and part 3, right? So everyone knows, is there anyone here who doesn't know the structure of the IELTS speaking test? Shall I just write it? I'll write it down here. Okay. So in the IELTS speaking test, we have 3 parts, right? So part 1 is questions about your personal life, right? So it is about your life. They ask you about your hometown, your work, your studies, things like that, things that you don't have to think about. Whereas part 2 will be a description about your personal experience. So they can ask you about a time when you had there was an unexpected event, a time when you received good advice, a time when you did something adventurous, right? It can be anything, but it will be based on your personal experience. And part 3 are questions based on your personal opinion, right? So the 3 parts are all based on you. It's based on your life, your experiences, and your opinions. So if you had some expressions that you can use to introduce your opinion, then it gives you better fluency because you remove the waste of time. Sometimes when they ask you a question about opinion, governments are now spending a lot of money on space exploration. What do you think? If you get a question like this in part 3, you need a second to think, right? But in part 3, you don't have preparation time. So you need to answer. So if we had a set of idiomatic expressions to introduce our opinion, then we can buy some time as well as improve our fluency. Yes? Okay. All right. So that is where we will use it. Let's start with looking at what types of expressions we can use quite comfortably for all sorts of topics, right? I'm not going to give you expressions that are specific to any topics. I'll give you expressions that can be used for various topics. Yes. All right. So when can we use these idiomatic expressions? And I will be giving you examples for everything. Yes. Okay. So you can use it to express your opinions. You can add metaphors as well. What are metaphors? Anyone? Can anyone tell me what are metaphors? Have you heard this word before? Yes, comparison, right? Comparing something. Okay. Comparing something to a situation, right? Or feeling. So if I say, for example, if I say, I was on thin ice. What does this mean? Literally, it means that I am standing on ice that is thin, right? So if you look at it literally, it means that I'm standing on ice that is thin. But if I'm standing on ice that is thin, what will happen? Yes, it can break at any moment, which means that I'm in a dangerous situation. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Risky situation, right? So when you use this kind of metaphor, it adds an impact. Yes, Garwal, it adds drama, right? So if I say, instead of saying I was in a dangerous situation, I can say I was on thin ice. And this is not literal, right? You can even use it in situations where, for example, I accidentally broke something at home and I did not want to tell my parents because I was already on thin ice from the previous thing I broke. Yes. So this means that I'm scared to tell my parents that I broke something because they're still angry about something I broke the previous time. Yes. So these expressions can be used in a variety of situations and it's not limited to any particular thing. Yes. All right. So this is an example of how you can use metaphors, idiomatic expressions as metaphors to add some drama, to add some color to your speaking, right? Okay. Now, one thing I would say you need to be careful about is expressions are like salt, okay? Idiomatic expressions are like salt. Why do I say this? Why are they like salt? Can anyone tell me? Too much is bad. Yes, Aman. Right? Too much, you can't have it too much, right? But you need it. You add it, you feel good about it. If you add too much, yes, right? If you add too much, then it becomes overwhelming, right? It is like salt and pepper or anything that you add, right? So it is an addition. Don't add too much of it. So what I'm saying is in an answer, it is enough if you add 1 or 2 at most. Do not have more than 1 or 2 in a single answer. In part 2, where you are speaking for a longer time, you can include a few more, but never include too many expressions. Yes, I hope that's clear. And I hope that even though you're learning all these expressions, you will only use them like salt and pepper, only use them as necessary. Yes. Okay. So apart from adding opinions and metaphors, you can also use it to describe situations, people, and also to conclude. Why can't I just say in conclusion? Why do I need to use idiomatic expression to conclude? What do you think? Why can't I say in conclusion? Nobody? To make the closure good, yes. In writing, it is totally okay for you to say in conclusion. But when you are speaking casually, right? So if you suddenly use formal language or you use academic language in the middle of speaking, it sounds off, right? So when we are speaking casually, it's totally fine to conclude using an idiomatic expression. Now, this you can use everywhere, right? For everything. Yes, Ashmi, in a nutshell is a great idiomatic expression you can use when you're concluding. You can use it to describe situations. Yes. Okay. So we'll start looking at expressions for each of these. Out of the blue, yes, that is a idiomatic expression you can use. It means that it is totally unexpected. In a nutshell is not formal. No, we don't use that in writing, but we do use it in speaking. Yes. Okay. All right, guys. So let's start looking at some examples for all of these. And these you can throw in whenever you're speaking. You can add it to all sorts of things. All right. Okay. So those of you who are here, please stay till the end. I will be sharing a gift with you guys. So please stay till the end and check out the free gift that I'm giving to you. Okay. Next, we'll start. Now for opinions. Now, where do we see opinion questions mostly in the speaking? We mostly see it in part 3, right? Most part 3 questions are based on opinions. So what do you think about this issue? They can say, how do you think things have changed over the past 30 years? Do you think things have changed? Do you think people are happier now? Do you think the economy is better now? Right? So all your part 3 questions are based on opinions, which means that we can use any of these expressions instead of saying, I believe that, right? We normally say, I think or I believe, which is very common, extremely common. We say, I believe or I think, right? Instead of that, or even if you say, in my opinion, this is also very common, right? So what we can do is, instead of using these common phrases, we can use some idiomatic expressions such as far as I'm concerned. What does this mean? Yes, as far as I am concerned. So not only are you introducing an idiomatic expression, when you use this expression, you also improve your intonation. Right? So I can say, as far as I'm concerned, I will place a stress where? I will place stress on this because this is my opinion. Yes? So I would like all of you to try saying this. As far as I'm concerned, when you do this, you're automatically improving the intonation as well. Yes? So you can improve intonation. You have now introduced a new sentence structure instead of the usual I think, I believe, or in my opinion. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that we don't need to spend so much on space exploration. Or as far as I'm concerned, exploring space should be of utmost priority. Yes, so you can use this to introduce your opinion. Similarly, I can also say, the way I see it, what does this mean? It's slightly different from as far as I'm concerned. How is this different? What do you think? The way I see it. Yes, my point of view, right? So this means, or this implies, that there is another point of view as well, right? So others may see it differently, but the way I see it, I believe that this is a good thing. Or the way I see it, investing in space exploration is necessary. Yes, so this is my point of view, but it also implies that others may disagree. or others may have a different opinion. Yes? All right. Okay. So the way I see it is also another way for you to introduce your opinion. My take on this, again, exactly same meaning as the way I see it, and also implies that others may have a different opinion. So when you get a question, you can say, my take on this is that it is absolutely necessary. Yes, my take on this, my take on the issue, my take on this problem. Okay. Next, in my experience. Now this you will use in questions based on past experiences. Where do we get these kind of questions? Do we get it in part 3? Part 3 is mostly based on opinions. Where do we get questions based on past experiences? Part 2, right? So rather than saying that I believe or I think, I can say that in my experience, I have found that people often remain loyal to organizations that treat them well. Yes, so you can introduce a story using in my experience. Yes, okay. Now, what about when you are asked questions, opinion-based questions on things that you don't know? This can happen, right? For example, if someone asked me about sports, I may not know enough about it. I may want to say that I don't know enough about it. Or if someone asks me about art, right? So if you don't know enough about art and the question is about art, you can't say I don't know anything about this. You have to say something. So you can start by saying, to be honest, I can't wrap my head around it. Yes. So if I say I can't wrap my head around it, it means that I find it confusing or I find it difficult to understand. Yes. And the reason I'm saying this is because it earns me some time to think about my answer. Yes. So when you say, to be honest, I can't wrap my head around it. I don't understand much about art. So by saying these two sentences, I have earned some time to think about what to say next. Yes. So keep these phrases, these expressions ready. So if you're going to say yes, if you're going to say no, or if you're going to say that I don't really know, you can have these expressions handy, which means you reduce the time to think. You automatically start answering, and then you can add details about what you really think. Yes. Okay. What about I'm on the fence about it? What does this mean? Not sure about it. Yes. So literally, it means that on a fence, there are two sides. You are standing on the fence and not jumping that side, but you're also not jumping this side, right? So it means that you are undecided. Yes. So if you are undecided about something, you can definitely use this expression, right? And if you are partially agreeing or partially disagreeing in the opinion-based questions in part 3, even then you can use I'm on the fence about it. For example, one of the students received this question in the exam, part 3 question. Many people believe that protecting wildlife is more important than unemployment issues. Okay. Now, I don't want to say that I completely agree with one side or the other. I want to say that I feel that maybe both are equally important, or I'm undecided. So I can introduce this answer by saying, well, to be honest, I am on the fence about this because it is important to protect wildlife, but unemployment is also becoming a large issue. Or I can even introduce my 2 points by using on the one hand and on the other hand. Yes, this is a very good combination. Right. So I can say, I'm on the fence about this issue because on the one hand, protecting wildlife is definitely important as they contribute to the ecosystem. On the other hand, unemployment is a problem specific to the economy and the nation, and we can only improve our lives by improving employment rates. Yes, so you can combine these kinds of, you can use an expression and then use cohesive devices such as on the one hand and on the other hand. So when you use it in this combination, it is extremely good for your score. Yes, so it is not advisable to use two idioms in the same answer, but you can use it like this. Use an idiomatic expression and you can use cohesive devices along with it. Yes, I'm on the fence about it. However, most people believe that unemployment is a bigger problem. Yes, so you can easily use cohesive devices, that is your linking words like however, although, but, and, additionally, similarly, moreover. These kinds of words can be combined with expressions. And when you do that, it improves your score. It definitely improves your score because you are adding grammatical range, you're improving your lexical resource, and it adds color to your speaking. All right. Okay, let's do the next one. So these are expressions you can use for opinions. Next, we have expressions to describe situations. Now, this is one thing that we discussed earlier, on thin ice. Now, this is a metaphorical expression, right? So literally, it means that you are standing on thin ice. It can break at any moment and you can drown, you can fall in, means that you are in a dangerous situation. Yes, so I can say, I am on thin ice. I cannot do this because I am on thin ice. You can use this in any dangerous situation. So in part 2, let me write an example here. For example, describe a time when you got lost. Yes, so for a question like this, I can say, I was lost. I'll explain where and everything. So I will say, I did not want to approach a stranger since I was already on thin ice, surrounded or lost in a crowded place. Yes. Right? So this is an example of how you can use it, especially in a situation. If you're describing a situation, this is a good expression to be used. Okay. Similarly, you can also use in a tight spot. What does this mean? What do you think, guys? In a tight spot or a bind, where can I use this? Yes, it means difficult situation, but in what part can I use it? In speaking, where can I use it? What do you think? I can definitely use it in which part? Yes, I can use it in part 3, or I can also use it in part 2. Yes, so when you are talking about a difficult situation, so if I am explaining, if the question is something like, do you think we need to pay attention to environmental issues? Yes, so I will say, the way I see it, if we do not take the necessary measures, then we will find ourselves in a tight spot in the future. Yes. So now I've actually used 2 expressions in this same sentence, but it is okay because both are used correctly in the correct context. So when I say the way I see it, here I'm introducing my opinion. And then I am saying we will find ourselves in a tight spot. As in, if we don't take necessary measures to protect the environment, in the future, we will be in a very difficult situation. Yes? All right. Okay, guys, next, silver lining. Now, I would like you to give me an example sentence for this. I'll give you 30 seconds. Can you give me an example sentence for silver lining? Let's see. Example sentence. Something good after a difficulty is the explanation. And literally what it means is, when do we see a silver lining in the clouds? Only when the cloud is dark. Yes, every dark cloud has a silver lining. That is the proverb, right? That is the expression. Now, silver lining itself can be used in a sentence very easily in speaking. Where can I use it? Give me an example sentence. Example sentence for silver lining. Anyone? Yes, it means positive hope in a bad situation. Yes, Ramya, you're correct. I want an example sentence. Give me a sentence with using silver lining. What do you think? Getting seat in our dream university after studying hard for SATs. Okay. That was the silver lining. Okay. I got a gift for her, which made a silver lining. Okay. Now, Sachin, that is not the correct usage. See, a silver lining is usually when something good happens after a difficulty. So if you have been facing some difficulty or something difficult or a painful experience or a challenge, after that, when something good happens, that is what we call a silver lining. So, for example, after all the hard work, the fact that we could sleep on a comfortable bed at the end of the day was a silver lining. Yes. So this means that these people are struggling. They are going through something very difficult. And because they are going through something difficult, that one good thing that happens, and in the end, that is a silver lining. Yes? Okay. Okay. A silver lining is when something good happens after you go through some difficulty. Receiving a good band score was the silver lining after 3 months of difficult preparation. Yes. Okay. Yes, after completing my IELTS course, I finally see a silver lining in my abroad career. Okay. Yes, Arushi, that's a great example. Yes, after going through depression, the silver lining is that it makes you a little more sensitive as a person. Yes. An eco-friendly approach is the silver lining for the future. Yes, good. Okay, but always use it when you are talking about something good that happens after a difficult period. So something good has to be there. It's not just vague. You have to tell me what is that good thing, right? So I can say the work from home culture is the silver lining to the pandemic. Yes. So even though so many bad things have happened, even though it's been very difficult, one good thing came out of it. That is the silver lining. Yes. Okay. So don't use it for things like, I've done this, so it's a silver lining. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to be talking about one specific good thing that came because of or as a result of a difficult situation. Yes. Dinner was the silver lining with all the training going on. Yes, that is fine. Despite all the difficulties they faced, the silver lining was the client loved everything they made. Fantastic, Nikita. Good example. Yes, the silver lining is that our economy is better now after the disaster of COVID-19. Okay. Yes, the doctor saw a silver lining as the patient recovered. Yes. Okay. All right, guys. Good job. So you were able to give me good examples. Good job. All right. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. The time of my life. Now, the time of my life is something when we are talking about an extremely enjoyable experience. Yes. So I had the time of my life when I went on vacation. This we will usually use in part 2 because part 2 they're asking about past experiences. Yes. And usually these are positive. Okay. They won't ask you to talk about a bad experience you had. Usually they will ask you to talk about a good experience or a positive experience that you had. So you can definitely use this in part 2. So I can say that I really enjoyed my travel abroad and I had the time of my life while I was there. I had the time of my life when I meet with my friends. Yes, Sandeep. Right. So, yes, so good job, guys. During my visit to Maldives, I had the time of my life. Yes. Yes, Shubh, that's a good example. All right. What about few and far between? When can we use this? When it's very uncommon, when it's rare. So I can say due to the pandemic, enjoyable events have been few and far between. Yes. Right. So you can use few and far between when you're talking about something that is uncommon or is not very often. Arun, that is not the correct usage. Few and far between is not used for distance. It is used for time. Yes. Few and far between is used for something that happens rarely. It is not about distance. Yes. You can't say the pandemic is few and far between. When was the last time we had a pandemic like this? Okay. All right. Another example. Another example, I can say that the number, you can't understand few and far between. Okay, I'll give you a few more examples for few and far between. Yes, so I will say that in my life, instances due to the pandemic, socializing has become few and far between. Yes, yes, Shubham, that's a good example. No, Sandeep, we can't use it for brothers. Few and far between means that it is a rare occurrence, something that happens rarely, right? Something that is an uncommon occurrence. So I will say that social events in my town are few and far between, which means they are very rare. Yes. Yes, successful female politicians are few and far between. Yes, Simran, that's a good example. Bank heists are few and far between. Yes, you can say that. Due to my busy schedules, my outings with friends have become few and far between. Yes, Arushi, great example. In my life, Ria, you have to frame it differently. You can say happy events in my life are few and far between. Yes, due to social media, personal meetings have become few and far between. Yes, Naresh, good example. Yes. An open road in Bangalore is few and far between. Yes, okay. right? Okay, good job, guys. I think now you have gotten the hang of this expression. Good job. Yes. Social life is, social events are few and far between. Yes, good job. No, Nitya, we can't use it like that. You have to talk about something that happens very rarely. Yes. No, Arif, that is not accurate. You can not use it for people. Guys, please remember, these are idiomatic expressions. Few and far between is used for events that happen rarely. It is not about distance. You cannot use it for people. You can only use it for events. Wild animals passing the area has become few and far between. Yes. So we are talking about events. Yes. Trains in Mumbai, which are not crowded, are few and far between. Yes. Good job. All right, guys, let's move on to the next one. And expressions to describe people. These I'll quickly go through so that we can look at our gift for today. Yes. All right. So a barrel of laughs is something you use to describe a funny person. I can say he's a barrel of laughs, which means he's a very funny person. I can say all things to all people. He is all things to all people, meaning that this person pleases everyone. Yes. It is preferable not to use it in speaking. Not to use it in writing. Better to use it in speaking. Yes. Okay. And to a fault, a good quality that is in excess. So I can say he is honest to a fault, right? He is kind to a fault, which means that he has too much of this good quality, right? Yes, Dahib, you can say Hari is a barrel of laughs. It's not barrels of laugh. It is barrel of laughs. Laughs is plural. Yes. All right. Has the markings of. Now we use has the markings for saying that someone has a potential for something. Yes, my uncle is a barrel of laughs. You can say that. He is all things to all people, which means that he is pleasing to everyone. Yes, he is all things to all people. And to a fault means they have too much of a good quality. He is honest to a fault, which means he is too honest. Yes. Okay. Next, has the markings of. I can say he has the markings of a great leader, right? Which means, yes, he has the markings of a actor, a good actor. Yes, he has the markings of a great journalist. You can use names, absolutely. Yes. India has the markings of becoming a superpower. Yes, you can say that. Yes, yogis have markings of a great leader. Okay. Yes. He has the markings of a great speaker. Fantastic. Yes. So it can be a potential for anything, right? I can say he has the markings of a great engineer. Yes. Thank you, Ismail. All right. So you can use this when you are saying that someone has the potential for something. This we will usually use in part 2 when you often get topics asking you to describe a person. Yes. Yes, Virat has the markings of a great player. Absolutely. I have the markings of scoring 9 band. Yes, great. Okay, next, larger than life. He is larger than life. Or what does this mean? Yes, it means that he is remarkable in some way, right? But it implies that this person attracts attention of others because they are remarkable in some way, right? I was drawn to him due to his larger than life personality. Nelson Mandela had a larger than life personality. Yes, Sachin. Yes. So you can call someone as larger than life when they attract the attention of other people because they are so remarkable in some way. It can be anything. Bhagat Singh had a larger than life personality. Absolutely. Yes. Right. Mahatma Gandhi was larger than life. Absolutely. Right. But they have to be absolutely remarkable in some way. Right. And it can be even looks. It can be physical appearance. It can be their mind, the way they think. It can be their talent. It can be anything. Yes. Yes. Abdul Kalam was larger than life. Absolutely. Yes. Good job, guys. So I think all of you are good with this. Larger than life. Last one is calls a spade a spade. This one is very, very simple. It just means that they are very truthful. Whatever the situation, they will tell you the truth, right? He has been so successful in life because he always calls a spade a spade. Yes? A German calls a spade, absolutely, right? So this means that this person is, no matter what, he calls a spade a spade. Yes, good job, guys. So this means that this person is very truthful. Yes? Okay, guys, good job. So I think all of you are now familiar with some of the expressions you can use. These can be used in speaking very easily. Please do practice using them. You can find the recording of this video on YouTube, so you can always come back and watch it again, make a note of these expressions and use them when you are practicing for the speaking section. Now I'm going to give you a free gift. Yes, are you all ready for that? Yes, everyone ready for the free gift? Okay, fantastic. I'm going to share a free gift with you. So now what I want you to do is you can log into LeapScholar app using your phone number and take the IELTS quiz, and you can join my batch for free. Yes. So those of you who would like to join the IELTS Plus course, which is a 4-week course, you can join it for completely free of cost if this is the first time you are taking this quiz. All you have to do is log in with your phone number and take the quiz. If you're already a student with a different course, you can join with a 20% discount, and the code for that is SWLive20. Yes, I will share the link for the quiz. So those of you who would like to join, you can join using this code. So let me tell you about the course before that. The course is 20 hours long. It is 4 weeks, and I will cover all 4 modules personally. Yes, so I will be covering all the 4 modules: speaking, reading, writing, listening, everything. You will have weekly mock tests as well, and you will have one-on-one speaking feedback. You will get expert writing evaluations as well for your writings. Yes, I'm sharing the link now. You can join my class for free if this is the first time you're joining, or you can join using this code for 20% off. Just give me a moment. Let me share the link with you. You can join for free by taking this quiz. Yes? All right. Okay, guys, I am sharing the link in the chat. Please use this link to take the free quiz. You can join my course for completely free if this is your first time. Otherwise, you can also join the batch using the 20% code SWLive20. Okay, we will also be including 10 grammar classes free of cost along with this course. If you join the course, you will also get free grammar classes as well as free doubt clearing sessions and free access, lifetime access to all the study materials. Yes, yes, it's a larger than life offer, Ismail. Good job. Yes, okay. So those of you who have not joined yet, you can join using this link if it's your first time, or you can join any of the batches. Guys, we have batches for all the timings. All our trainers are extremely qualified, very skilled, top of the line. You can join any of the batches based on your timing and preference. You can join using the code SWLive20 to get a 20% discount. If this is your first time, you can use this quiz link and join completely free. And like I told you, including the mock tests, you also have the If it's not working, then you may have already taken it. If you are logging in with your phone number for the first time, you will get the free quiz. Yes, you can try a different phone number. Okay, so this course will only be visible to first-time users. Others can use the code SWLive20 for a 20% discount. Yes? All right. If you've joined other classes, that is fine. You can join this batch using the 20% discount as well. You had the time of your life attending the class. Fantastic. Great to hear it. You've already joined my course, which is to start on 24th. Okay. Guys, my batch will be starting on the 24th. Of course, all of our trainers are good, so you can join whichever courses you would like to join. This code is applicable to the course by any, you can join any of the courses. Yes? All right, guys. Is anyone having trouble joining? Once we finish this, we can start looking at the last 5 expressions for conclusion. Yes? Are any of you having trouble? You've completed the quiz? Okay. Great job. Yes, you need to take the quiz right away if you want to avail this free offer. Here's the link for the quiz. Please take the quiz and you can join the course completely free. If you've already joined a different course, you can use the code SWLive20. Yes? Okay, those of you who have joined, you can use the thumbs up feature to let me know. Yes, it's a free test. Here's the link. Use this link and you can select my batch, which is starting on the 24th, or if you can, of course, join the courses by any of the trainers. Yes? No, you can only join one course for free. It is only free for first-time users. Others can use the code SWLive20 to get a 20% discount. Yes? All right. Okay, guys, thank you all for joining today and hope to see you all in the upcoming batch. Thank you. You can use this link. You can, even without the link, just sign in with your phone number and you will get the free quiz. Yes, for the first time. Of course, you can also use the SWLive20. Thank you, everyone. See you soon. We have free grammar classes as well. And we have run out of time. So we have to end the session here. Thank you all. See you again. Have a good night. Thank you.